computer. So if I were to ask, what do you think people are afraid of talking about money? What do you think we avoid the money conversation? It's kind of like saying we need to talk. We
Uh,
need to talk.
I mean, it's usually because people are half embarrassed about where they're not, right? So they don't want to tell anybody where they are. It's easier to show somebody what I bought rather than what telling them what I don't have.
Mhm. So is that the fear? That's the only fear where you're like, nope, I'm not gonna bring it up. I mean, most of us we don't even talk about what we make. We'll share everything else. Truly, like you were saying, I can show you the pair of shoes. I can do, all the stuff I got.
Mhm.
Where I get my coffee, where I'm buying everything. But then we don't talk about like the real money conversation,
Mhm.
right?
Uh, That's right. Or and how we can build and actually go about setting aside something for something that we'll be proud of in the future.
hmm But do you
We
think we learn some of this stuff too from, dare I say it, our parents?
I would say we learn not to talk about it.
Not to talk from our parents, because these are the things I think start arguments, right? So a
Mhm.
lot of the time you can see that's where tensions start in terms of we can pay for this, we can pay for that. So even though you they think you don't hear it, but do you think then we're like, you know what, I'm gonna avoid this because I don't want to have argument with whoever, whether it's my friend or partner and this and that. So you're like, let me avoid this.
Totally. Or the other one is I've also learned that many men don't want to have the conversations about money with their wives, and they just want their wives to just trust them and don't involve them as a partner.
Oh, okay.
So
Trust
that's
me.
another
Just
one.
trust me. We don't need to talk about it.
Yep.
Money's
That
coming in. As long as you know money's coming in, there's no need to even like discuss it.
well, and sometimes the money's not coming in or things aren't being paid for. And then all of a sudden she gets shocked to find out that they're not in good shape. But she felt but he wasn't willing to have a conversation with her as a full partner.
Mm. So now we have the relationship coming into play. So it's interesting as we've been talking, so many things are connected to that money conversation or the
Mhm,
talk. That should be the thing. That should be one of the many talks
mhm.
that people have. But you don't want to wait until you like end some kind of crisis to have it. So do you have one tip you can say for people who are afraid of having the money conversation? How do we ease into it?
I think the first thing to do to start is answering this one simple question. What are the things that'll bring you the greatest joy over the next 5, 10, 15 years that if you don't achieve, you will
Mhm.
be upset?
Oh, one question. That's it.
One question.
One question. I
And
would love
have both parties write down what that looks like, compare, prioritize,
mhm.
and then price it out, and then move forward with how to get there.
How do we get there? Well, you can help people learn how to get there. Maybe you could be the mediator when this conversation is happening. because
There you go.
because people, oh, that could be the referee. That would be your role and a guide at the same time. So, but I think it's great for people to kind of have someone who can walk them through that because a lot of time people really can't have the conversation and it's really something you don't want to wait until later. And I think
Mm,
most people don't have it at the beginning of their relationship, in the middle,
right.
until some kind of major life event happens.
That's right.
And then you must have or until they're making like a major purchase, like we're getting a car, we're getting a house. I think those conversations people have, but I feel like the day to day, people avoid
Or
the
or
conversation.
they don't get where they wanted to be, and then it breaks the relationship.
Ah, then you're like, I'm never talking about money again. This is why I avoid the issue.
Mhm.
Right? So I'm hoping more of these will happen. So if people, just in case we're gonna be sharing this, if people want to know, like, I need a guide, or I need a mediator, a referee, or even someone just to help me be more comfortable, because I think money it can get very, it's a very uncomfortable conversation. It's literally sometimes like talking about like an illness or death or those things where people are just like they avoid it. And we
Mhm.
know what happens sometimes. The thing you avoid, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mhm. Mhm.
So if they wanted to talk to you and say, okay, help me figure this out, where can we reach you?
You can reach me, send me a note at den@cashmapconsulting.com.
That's it. So that would be like one action someone can take instead of avoiding the talk, the money talk, we'll call it. And then they can talk to
Yep.
you, and then you can ease into the conversation. Like it doesn't have to be anything scary, right? We can just like have the conversation and answer that question, right?
Avoiding the conversation does not make the problem go away.
All right. This is going to be to be continued.